Hey guys, this is Camfrey15 back at it with another video for you guys. And I'm back with another Worlds and Harem episode review for you guys. And this week, this is episode 5 for Worlds and Harem as we continue on with this story. And what I thought was a solid episode. Again, in the grand scheme of things, it progresses the story. I'm guessing we're now focused on Reito, even though I'm guessing maybe some members of the community who are like iffy on the show wishes they just stayed with Doi, because Doi was literally pimping every freaking girl imaginable. But obviously we're following our main character here from the standpoint he wants to find a cure. And we get introduced to two new girls in this whole thing that are now added to his harem. Anyways, the episode starts off with obviously Reito doing his research, and he ends up walking out and bumps into this girl for some reason, literally just wearing her underwears and her lab coat and not wearing anything top. She's topless and just open for everybody to see. Now, I understand this entire world is just full of ladies, so obviously technically, damn, these ladies can't actually probably walk around butt ass naked if they wanted to, because there's no men living in this world. So what's stopping you? Technically, girls could do that in this show. But anyways, he bumps into this girl, which we find out her name is Maria. And bumps into Maria. She is a girl that seemingly enough gets easily flustered. She's very, I guess you can say, antisocial. She doesn't like to talk to people in a regular sense. But we see later in the episode when Rachel's bringing up about the MK virus, she starts like, oh yeah, I know about this, and she talking like she knows everything. Not only because she's a scientist, but it's something, interest. It's like anything. If you like to talk about anime, you're going to talk about anime 24/7 with your friends. If it's something else that you don't really talk about or you really don't like, you're not going to talk about it, and you'll be antisocial with that. But in the meantime, he goes to get some lunch and everything he's eating. We have these two cute girls like, hey, can I get your interview? Right? Or not your interview, your autograph. And then she was like, okay, sure. And then all of a sudden we get bumped into what I'm guessing is the tsundere character in this anime, which I'm just gonna say this, out of the harem, out of this entire harem, she's my favorite girl, not only because she's a tsundere, but for some reason I like the way her hair looks, the way her hair is done, and then those purple eyes, just so dope. And then she just gives me a vibe that she's a very funny character, but she does not like to be freaking messed with. And it's funny because she presses Reito. She's like, oh, don't think I didn't see what you did. You freaking took advantage of that girl. You made her, sit on top of you. And Reito's like, whoa. I did nothing. That was an accident. And she's like, you're a pervert. Get the hell out of here. And she walks off and he's like, that's rude of you to suggest. And I'm like, okay, I already love this girl already. She's hilarious. We later find out he gets called in by Suou, and those two UW leaders that we've seen in the past 2 episodes that said, yeah, we're gonna have to get this purple-haired Suou girl out of here because she's not doing her job effectively. She's not having this dude mate with other females. And essentially comes and meets. They say, listen, she's not gonna be your handler anymore. These are gonna be your handlers, and that's Maria and Ray, who he sees later. Now, Maria doesn't really do much of anything around him, even though she's a handler of him. It's morely Ray we see this entire episode kind of like replacing the role that Suou is, where she's just side by side with him. And I'm guessing how's it going to go, because we see that she absolutely hates Reito with a burning passion. She wants nothing to do. She literally thinks this guy just takes advantages of women and he'll do whatever he wants, and he's just some sort of capper where he puts off this nice boy persona. but she probably thinks, oh, he's gonna get dirty and down. And he forcibly puts himself over girls and stuff and like that. But I feel like as the episodes progress, she's surely but slowly going to start falling for this dude. Because we see later in the episode when he expresses how he feels about in pertaining to the girl he likes, Arisa. She kind of gets shocked and she's like, oh, maybe he's not as bad as I thought he was. But yeah. Essentially they tell them, listen, you know, that she's not gonna be your handler no more. And she walks out, she leaves. Obviously, Reito's like, why is this happening? And Ray is like, the reason why this is happening is because it's in the business. You get revived, you're supposed to mate with other women. You're supposed to make babies. And as your caretaker, she wasn't doing that for you. She wasn't setting it up and stuff like that. And your decisions to do that is only hurting her. So guess what? In other words, she lost her job because of you. And listen, I can't blame the guy. You know, again, listen, I'm all for being loyal to whoever you love. I don't advise cheating on anybody. If I was with somebody, I hope they're not cheating on me because I wouldn't go cheat on them. But in this world, I completely understand what Ray's saying. She's like, listen, our jobs essentially depend on you guys mating with other dudes so we can make more babies and stuff like that. Now, the one thing the UW people leaders said, they said, well, she won't be your caretaker, but she can still be in your little harem party where you could particularly mate with her and do it with her and have babies and stuff like that. So yeah, go right ahead. So yeah, and that's what we kind of see. Suou's kind of just delegating this role where now she's a part of the harem. She has no specific role. She's just a part of the harem. Anyways, what happens next is they're going on to this one area to go talk with this person who this one girl, this old lady, whose husband died because the MK virus, and we find out it was the first person to die of said virus. And when they get there, she's kind of having none of it, and she doesn't want to talk to them. She's like, get the hell out of my get the hell out of my freaking room. I have no need for you and stuff like that. And it's a whole thing of they have this entire episode, they have to prove to her, you know, why they need this information and stuff like that. And she's not giving any information because, well, obviously it was a traumatic experience for her and she doesn't want to talk about it, and she's very resentful. And it's funny because she even says, listen, she tells her, like, listen, aren't you supposed to be doing your job? Like, aren't you supposed to be freaking doing it with these girls? You got like 4 or 5 of them right behind you. Go freaking have fun. And obviously this episode again reinforces the fact that Reito, you know, he even says like, yeah, I could do that, you know, but truly, you know, I only love one person, and that's Arisa, and stuff like that. And I think he even says a comment like, yeah, maybe I will end up doing it with some girl that's not the person I love, but at the end of the day, regardless, I'm still gonna love, you know, the girl I love, which in a way makes no sense, but okay. Listen, I've said this on my reviews. I don't care. If I was in this world, I would die to be in this world right now. My God, if there was one anime I could be isekai'd into right now, I love me some One Piece. I love me some Dragon Ball. I love me My Hero Academia. But my God, after seeing 5 episodes of this, I wish I could be isekai'd into the anime world of Worlds and Harem, where there's just a lot of girls and you're one of the few exception guys that get brought back from the dead, essentially, and you can freely do whatever you want. Personally, if it was me, I'd take advantage of all these pretty girls, and I'd be like, listen, I want one over here, yada yada yada. But that's me. I think every guy would want that. Who wouldn't? Anyways, yeah, that's the whole thing there. You get a funny scene when they get to before they even meet the lady, they get to, I guess you can say, their hotel room area. They're staying where there's these other students there, and they say, listen, we gotta make sure we're not disturbing the other students and everything, which I'll talk about in a second. But you know, Reito's taking this bath. He wishes, like, outside, but it's like some sort of like VR type of thing. And then all of a sudden, all the girls, even the Lily Lolly bodyguard girl, is there and everything, and stuff like that. Also, too, I forgot to make a mention. It seems like Ray and Suou actually know each other on some sort of personal level and stuff like that. Which, okay, cool. Also, I did find it funny how when they first get in there, freaking the nurse girl is like, "You need to loosen up, man. You know, Reito's not like the guy you say he is. He's a nice guy." And obviously she's like, "Yeah, right. I'd rather die before trust this guy." And they just ended up starting a pillow fight. She gets freaking pissed. Obviously, that's what you see in the thumbnail of this video, which was hilarious and everything. So, yeah. But you get this very funny scene where my boy has his harem of girls. Yes, even the Lily Lolly bodyguard hair girl. And they're all messing with him and everything. And then all of a sudden, they're like, "Hey, we'll wash your back." "No, actually, I'll do you one better. How about you wash all our backs?" And I found it funny because Ray's the only girl that didn't want to do it because nurse girl, I forgot her name already. She was like, "Hey, don't you want him to wash your back?" And she's like, "Heck no, I'm not going to have him wash my back. Are you crazy?" And everything. Oh my goodness, I love these tsundere characters. These characters are hilarious. But anyways, the funny part in this is throughout this whole scene, you have it to where this dude's washing their backs. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, this guy, he's free. It reminds me of the time when you watched My Dress Up Darling, and you know what happened there with the whole aspect of our boy Gojo essentially trying to measure frickin' Kitagawa. But here, he's literally washing her backs, all of them. Everything now. What is it? Little Lolly girl. She's the one girl that's like, "Oh, I like this. This is nice and everything." And she's not flustered. Yeah, Maria go up. She's a little bit flustered and everything. And then you have Suou come up. She's really flustered. She's like, "Oh man, goodness," and stuff like that. And she's flustered. She's starting to. Suou this episode actually shows like she definitely into our boy Reito. So he washes her back and everything, even though it's a little bit of a fluster. And he does comment in his head like, "She's got a nice back." And I'm like, bro, just freaking, freaking just do it, man. She looks like the girl you love. You might as well. It won't hurt. Jesus. Anyways, then you have but like I said, nurse girl asked like, "Do you want him to wash your back?" And she's like, "Hell no, I don't want him touching me." I'm like, "Don't, please." And probably I give it about a week or two, and then she's gonna be infatuated with him, and then she's gonna be trying to forcibly put himself or herself on him. Like I said, she's my favorite character of this harem because she's hot, and I just like her character. I'm a fan of tsundere characters. I love tsundere characters. Anyways, then you have nurse girl go up. He's rubbing her back, but he's like, "Listen, don't rub my back with that towel. I want you rubbing it with your hands." And I'm like, oh, this guy's getting skin on skin. And he's rubbing his back, and she's like, "Why don't you go a little lower?" And he's getting her thighs and everything, and then she raises her arm. She's like, "Why don't you get right here?" And everything. So he's like, "Come on, man." And then she's like forcibly grabbing his hands like, "Why don't you start to touch my chest area?" And then he's like, "Oh, I'm done. I'm getting out of here." Or no, I think he does touch the chest, and then she grabs his hand. She's like, "Why did you touch my a girl's private area that I will not say in strictly for just PG reasons?" And he literally is like, "Oh, I can't do this. Nope. He leaves, and it's funny because she's like, "Damn, I almost had him. Well, too bad." I'm like, this good. I'm like, the nurse. I'm like, honestly, after the nurse might be my favorite character because she is a flirtatious woman that will do whatever she needs to do to freaking get a man to you know what. Oh my god, this harem is hilarious, bruh. But anyways, what happens is we cut over to the old lady. The old lady actually talks to Arisa. We later find out in the scene later, which I'll get into a bit later, of the whole of what the heck's going on there too. But we also see the old lady actually talk to Suou, and essentially the old lady is like, yo, why are you helping this young man and stuff like that? Why don't you freaking just do it with him and stuff like that? You clearly like him in some sort of way. And obviously, she also asked the questions about Arisa and everything. And that's when she asked him, that's when the old lady asked her, like, why is he doing all this? Do you know what he's like? And Suo's like, he's selfish. He's selfish that he only puts the person he loves at first instead of doing what the main goal what is supposed to happen and everything. And he's selfish about it. And because of this, he's putting a lot of things off because of his selfishness and everything. So obviously, we get some understanding. Then we get a cut over flash to where it looks like Suou was in some sort of tank area or some sort of tank or something, and then we see on the outside looking in, Ares is looking at Suou. And I've seen other people review this series who are new to it, and they're saying, what if Suou is some sort of like clone of Arisa? Not a carbon copy, but just a clone, something similar, because they look very alike to one another. I wouldn't be shocked if Arisa made a clone of herself and it's just a completely different girl. The purple hair gives it away enough. It just gives it away. And there's some sort of relationship between the two. Don't know what it is, but it's suggesting if people think that Suou is a clone of Arisa, well, they kind of reinforce this stuff here with that quick little flash away scene. But anyways, what happens is near the tail end of the episode, Reito talks with the old lady, and he essentially explains why he's doing all this and everything. And that's when he says, like, yeah, maybe I will have to freaking mate with a girl, but that's not going to stop me from loving the person I truly love and stuff like that, which I still think that's weird. But then again, what do I know? Some people have those one night stands and then they have nothing for them, that said person. They just do it because they just needed to do it, and what, and stuff like that. And then the old lady just remembers what she said, and essentially, we found out that Arisa's doing research, even if it's at the cost of not getting with Reito. Again, the only stupid plot line that I don't like is the fact is, why is Arisa doing this? Why is she doing this, truly? Like, why is she purposely avoiding our boy Reito? She does know she can probably just go back and go be with him, unless the UW agency is like after her, because they probably want to, like, I guess, offer to not find out the cure or something like that. Or truly maybe Arisa knows the real reasoning behind how the MK virus came to be. Maybe she knows that and she's just staying hidden, because if she shows herself, they'll send somebody to kill her, like we see at the end of the episode. At the end of the episode, I forgot to mention, the little lolly girl and Reito, they go out in the legit outside bath, but then they hear these students coming in. He has to leave because things are gonna get awkward and they don't want to get into some sort of trouble, which I don't think they would. The student girls would probably just be all over him, but he ends up going to the sauna, and at first I thought it would be Ray showing up. Black-haired chick would be showing up in the sauna, and she would be like, what the hell are you doing here? But no, it is a blonde-haired girl, very voluptuous, very hot, very cute, sexy, yada, yada, yada. I can get all the prettiness out the way. And she's like, oh, well. And he's like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm going to leave. And she's like, I'll scream if you leave. Which was hilarious, because I'm like, that's such a real life element. Girls can just play you like that. Now, I'm not saying all girls can do that, but some girls will do stuff like that and say, you're not leaving, I'm going to take advantage of you, and I'll just scream and act like you're assaulting me or something like that. She's like, you're going to sit down. She's like, let's play a game. Let's see who can last in here the longest. If I leave, then I won't tell anybody that I was in here and I didn't see you. But well, if you leave, well then you're gonna have to listen to whatever I tell you to do. Again, we find out she is a American exchange student, and funny enough, Reito's like, you can speak Japanese pretty fluently, and we find out, oh, she loves Japanese culture and stuff like that. So, oh, interesting. And I'm like, dude, if I was an American person, I would not know a lick of anything. If I was going to Japan, which honestly, one of these days I do want to go to Japan because I love Japan just to see the anime sites and stuff like that, but I would not even teach myself a lick of Japanese. I don't freaking care. I'd just be like, can I get a translator for how many times I'm going to be in Japan and stuff like that? But yeah, that's the whole thing there. And essentially what happens is they go through it, and you know, she's trying to egg him on and tease him on and freaking, I guess in a grand scheme, seduce him because she's giving him very voluptuous angles and stuff like that. And Reito's like, please, I'm the king of staying firm. I don't break easily. Personally, if you ask me, I would have broken easily. I'm like, all right, I'm done. Okay, you win. Jesus, what do you want me to do? Also, we also find out that she knows him because of the broadcast he did. So it further implements the fact that, no, it's just not a few girls out there in public that know him. Damn near every girl in the world knows who he is. Now for the message he did, which again, I think I speculated when he made this announcement that it would probably backfire on him, and this is one of the cases. Although this girl was pretty harmless, we're just saying, what if this was another girl that's just literally trying to essentially abuse him and stuff like that into doing this stuff and everything. But what happens is she essentially fakes like she passes out. He takes her somewhere. He's like, I'm gonna go get you some water and stuff like that, and I'll give you water. And she's like, feed me the water through your mouth, essentially doing, I guess you could say, lip to lip CPR thing. So right as he's about to go in for, I guess you could say, the kiss, they're regurgitating the water, which I think is absolutely disgusting. I would never ever kiss another girl that tells me, hey, take this drink and then kiss me, and regurgitate it through my mouth. I think that's absolutely disgusting because you're just taking in not only your saliva, but said other person's saliva. And it's like, oh God. And I'm a germ freak. I do not like getting sick. And I do not like things that just, I feel like germs would attract. But I found it hilarious, the fact he's going in, all of a sudden, nurse girl, freaking lolly girl, and Ray show up, and they're like, oh. And lolly girl's like, he's planning on mating with another girl before any one of us. I'm like, oh my God. So clearly, that was hilarious. And Ray's just in the background like, and obviously they all leave. They're like, well, have fun and everything and stuff like that. And obviously it's just like freaking perverts. And obviously they just walk off. And we find out that the American girl was essentially just messing with him. She was conscious the entire time. She was just playing with him, and stuff like that. So yeah, listen, she was a good looker. You might as well should have just got it on. Might as well. See, that's what I understand. If you love this girl so much, and have some pleasure, so have some enjoyment, man, and then you can hook up with her. It's not like she's gonna be mad at you. Anyways, the end of the episode where we're left off on a cliffhanger is the fact that, well, old lady ends up getting killed because somebody, I guess, slipped some sort of poison through her while she's sleeping, and she's not dead, but she's in like critical condition essentially, and that's what happens next. And obviously she's in critical condition. The thing she told the nurse is, here, give the kid this picture frame of me and my husband, which I'm guessing there must be something in this picture frame that could alert Reito about the MK virus, because she did say, maybe you come back, I'll probably talk to you about my husband, because clearly the husband knew something about the MK, and it's funny because he even asked Maria early in the episode, like, do you think the MK virus was like created by a human or something like that, and he just and this said human influenced it on the world? And obviously she was like, okay. Which obviously, again, it's another speculation. What if this freaking MK virus is a man-made creation that was implemented and dispersed into the public, essentially killing all these men? And again, we see this individual whose face we don't see. We see they have a lab coat on and everything, but it was the person responsible. We don't know who said person is. And I believe it's the same person that set that freaking bear free in the second episode. So I feel like this is leading up to some sort of reveal. And I feel like it's going to be the type of reveal that's going to be shocking, where it's going to be like, it's probably a character we freaking know. And we're going to be like, are you serious? So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But again, like I said every week, I love this show. It's one of my favorite anime shows, even though some people will say this show is garbage, it's trash, yada yada. That's the point of these harem shows. Whether you watch High School DxD, To Love Ru, what other shows are there similar to Worlds and Harem? You know, you guys know. They're garbage and stuff like that. And everything. So yeah, but anyways, that's kind of it. So if you guys like the video, leave a like. Put in the comment section your thoughts on this week's episode of Worlds and Harem, as well as hit that subscribe button if you want to get more Worlds and Harem content, as well as any of the other anime of 2022 reviews. But other than that, I'm gonna get out of here. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day or night on this video. Until then, guys, catch you guys later. Peace.